So, you ever get tired of homeless people? I don't mean the actual individuals, but you know what chaos they bring, the mess, the filth, the noise, the vermin, all that stuff. And whether people want to admit it, that's what happens. Well, New York has found an interesting way of trying to avoid having them loiter on city streets. Some people are calling it inhumane, and some people are calling it uncalled for. So we're going to leave it to you to decide. We're not going to give you which direction to go either way. We're just presenting you what's going on. So the new thing now is to create an atmosphere where it's very uncomfortable for the homeless to just find somewhere to rest. That includes putting spikes on the benches, putting humps in the middle of the benches. Instead of dirt under the bridgeway, they do massive rocks, so it's really hard to sleep. So a few of these things have actually implemented on animals before. I'm not sure when you've noticed, but like cameras in most parks have these little plastic spikes on top of them. They do that so birds don't land and then defecate all over the camera. So is this going to work for the homeless people in New York? Here's my statement. No, it will not, because there's still grass. Unless you're going to electrify the grass or probably make the grass all bladed, and then end up being charged for murder. I don't know how else you're going to solve this problem. All they're trying to do is placate to the people that say we should do something about the homeless, but they're actually not doing anything at all. You're only preventing them from sleeping on a bench. Not quite sure how many of you have slept on benches. It's not comfy. Putting a pole in the middle of it, I don't see how much that's going to help. But then again, there's always the floor right next to the bench. And if you just tell me not to sleep there, okay. So this is not an effort to solve the homeless problem. If anything, it's going to make it worse. Why do I say that? You have just taken away all the spots that would normally be designated, used by, and out of the way of normal people. Where are the homeless people going to go now? In front of stores, in front of houses, on the actual sidewalk? What I think they're going to end up creating here is a larger population of homeless people. They're going to make sure that homeless people actually set up camps now. So if I can't sleep on the bench, and I can't sleep under the train station, and I can't sleep under the bridge, real easy. I'll get all my information, get all my bags, get all my sleeping bags, and just go sit right in front of a store where I have a little awning over me, and I'll sleep there. Now, is New York really intent on getting rid of homeless people? No. If that was the case, they would pay more attention to the VA, since a large portion of the homeless are veterans. And they would start by getting drugs off the street in terms of the illicit ones, but they have not done that either. They would also try and find ways to create at least some sort of a location to house them. They haven't done that either. So all they're doing is displacing them to a different location on the same exact street and call it progress. There's a term for that, putting lipstick on a pig. Still a pig, it's still going to go back to its mud. Putting lipstick on it does not fix it. Nothing of what they're doing is going to solve the problem. And we believe it's by design. You see, if you can create enough chaos within an environment, you then have the right to do whatever you want to under martial law to solve it. But you have to make sure you execute it at the right time. You have to make sure that you get all of this flowing in sequence so that when it does resolve, it resolves at the right time. I think you guys get where I'm going with what the right time is. I think a lot of it too has to do with what their plan is for New Yorkers in general. We've seen that more and more people are leaving. We've seen more and more people are getting fed up with the way the economy is. So could New York be trying to drive, hear me out, majority of the locals out to use their locations to their means? The government, the local government in New York. A lot of it is time will tell thing. I remember they have that migrant crisis going on. But in order to facilitate that, I have to create a reason for people to leave homeless. And then I have to create a access point for the people I'm bringing in to have a reason to keep coming in. Remember when Adam said to you, I'm talking to people in New York, by the way, yeah, we're doing it in the city now, but pretty soon we're going to need to have the local residents start doing more too. How is he going to get you to do more? Remember, it's your house. It's your land. So how are you going to get me to do anything? Well, I could make it really difficult for you to live here. I could make sure that rent's too high. And then I could make sure you have a homeless problem right outside your door. What's your next move? Leave. And when you leave, since we control most of the stuff that happens in the cities and the banks, we win. Far-fetched, call it what you want. But for what we can see, based on what their track record is, they have no intention of solving a problem. They're just creating more to have an access point to do what they really want to do in New York, which is convert it into what? An immigration center. As much as Mayor Adams says he doesn't want to, you haven't heard anything from him, Lynn, have you? No. Did you remember the court case that came out all of a sudden about the campaign and money and funds and stuff? That's a shh, don't say nothing. Shh, you better shut up, change your mind about immigration. They have to keep everybody in line. And when you don't stay in line, you see what happens. You get put in your place. You get warned, hey, we can find stuff on you. You better start straightening up and flying right. All right, I'll do what I can. It's the best way to do it. Get rid of New Yorkers. Bring in who I can. I have more space, and it's working for me. Now, this is also linked to something else, but I won't get into that. Not right now, anyway, because that would be considered a conspiracy. But it might be right. So we'll see how that turns out. Don't miss our show on Friday for that one. But however, keep this in mind, people in New York. If it works the way they want it to work, watch and see it doesn't happen in every one of the major locations, and watch the homeless thing just go all over the place. You think California has a poop problem? Wait until it hits the fan in New York.